So guys, Bob Arum says that if the old Keith Thurman turns up, then Manny Pacquiao's got no chance. But if the Keith Thurman that faced Josecito Lopez turns up, then Manny Pacquiao has a great chance of winning this fight. Listen, guys, I agree with Bob Arum in the sense that I think if the old Keith Thurman turns up, I do think that I would favour Keith Thurman in the fight because, like I said, Pacquiao is 40. He's not the fighter he was. So I would favour, that Thurman, if that Thurman shows up. I wouldn't say that Pacquiao's got no chance even against the old Thurman, but I would definitely favour Keith Thurman and say he's the favourite in the fight, and I would favour him against Manny Pacquiao. However, I do think that if the Thurman that fought Josecito Lopez turns up, I believe Manny Pacquiao wins the fight and wins the fight quite comfortably. And I actually think that the guy that fought Josecito Lopez, Keith Thurman that fought Josecito Lopez, will turn up in the fight because I believe Keith Thurman is probably over the hill a little bit. I think those injuries have taken his toll. I don't think he's going to be the same fighter he was after suffering those injuries that he suffered in the Danny Garcia fight. I think he got injured. I think he broke his elbow. And I just don't think Keith Thurman's going to be the same man and the same fighter. So I do think that the injuries that he suffered in that Danny Garcia fight is probably going to be the reason why, Thurman's never going to be the same fighter. It's happened to many fighters. And Thurman, it's a shame because Thurman at that point looked like he was going to take over the welterweight division, and he was rightfully the number one. He had great names on the resume. He fought Guerrero, he beat Collazo, he had then beaten, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and he was looking good. Thurman, he was looking to take over. He was rightfully at that point the number one in the division, the unified champ. And unfortunately, that Danny Garcia fight just took everything away from him. Thurman was, to me, never the same man after that. It was obviously disappointing because Thurman, like I said, was building up a steam, building up a name, and then everything just kind of, he got injured and he was out for so long, and I don't think it's going to be difficult for him to regain that. And then obviously he came back in his comeback fight against Josecito Lopez. Actually, he was meant to fight Jesse Vargas before that, and then I think he ended up getting injured for that comeback fight. So that fight never happened. Vargas wasn't very happy, and then he ended up fighting Josecito Lopez, and Josecito Lopez really troubled him, and I think Josecito Lopez could have even beaten him. It was good he wasn't fighting anybody of a much higher caliber. I think he would have lost, but I think that's probably the best Thurman we're going to get. I don't think physically whether Thurman can get any better now. I think Thurman is what he is, and I think Thurman's going to struggle to get any better physically because I think those injuries have taken toll on his body. I think psychologically, mentally, he's not the same fighter. So I don't think Thurman's going to be able to overcome the injuries that he's had. So I think physically Thurman's a broken man, and I think mentally he probably knows that he's not the same fighter. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how he approaches the fight. Also, I think this fight is a great fight. The reason why I think it's a great fight because I think there's a lot of answers. We need a lot of answers. There's a lot of questions to be answered. And I think on July 20th, a lot of those questions are going to be answered. So is Keith Thurman still got it? Can Keith Thurman fight the likes of Crawford Spence? Can Manny Pacquiao still compete at this level? Can Manny Pacquiao compete against guys like Spence and Crawford? We're going to find out, because if Manny Pacquiao destroys Keith Thurman, then you could say that he definitely has a chance against Spence or Crawford. If he goes in there, doesn't look that great, gets beat, then Manny Pacquiao is probably towards the end of his career. So that's why there's a lot of questions to be answered. But I do kind of agree with Bob Arum. I don't quite say that the old Thurman, that Manny Pacquiao has no chance, but I would favour the old Thurman against this Manny Pacquiao. Obviously the prime Manny Pacquiao would destroy Thurman, the old Thurman, whatever Thurman. But if this current Manny Pacquiao, if the old Thurman shows up, Manny Pacquiao could be in trouble. But leave your thoughts, guys, and guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.